Hey, we're going to talk about how to clean an exam room. The reason we have to talk about this is because we want them to be clean. It's one of our core values is that the facility and grounds be clean and welcoming. But it's also important that we help establish our clients' trust, because if we can't even clean a room, how can we take care of their pet? Okay. First thing that I do when I'm cleaning a room is I come in here, I sit down right where the client's going to be, and I look around the room and I see, okay, is there hair on the table? Is there hair with this electrical cord box? Is there stuff on the floor? Is there something on the bottom of the lift table stand? Something that you always have to do is to close the door. Because when it's open like this, you can't see that wall real well. When it's closed, you can see if there's some smudge on the wall. We look back at this wall too to make sure there's nothing there. But other little problem areas are these little things on here, the tops of the pictures. We need to make sure those are not like this. I go over to the sink and make sure that there's no empty syringes or something like that in there. Sometimes strongia gets in there and causes it to look kind of crappy. Then I'll clean the top of the lift table. And this is movable, of course, and so I'll clean this first, get the hair off of it, and make sure there's no blood or anything else on there. And then I lift this up to see if there's any trapped hair here, okay? I'll go over to here, on top of the lift table here, and then we'll make sure that that's got no problems. A lot of times what people do is put some cheese on this. We're gonna make sure that gets off, because it looks a lot lousy if it does. Always go over to here as well and take a look and see, make sure that's not happening. Then I'll look at the floors, you know? I mean, sometimes what we'll do is get down, make sure there's no spider webs or anything underneath there. But the main thing that is bothersome in this room is this little black thing that holds the cords for the lift table. And then like in here. Sometimes you have to take a shop vac to get to it, but hair gets trapped on that thing all the time. But the client is sitting right there, so we want to make sure that that's not going to be dirty. What I do in the small exam rooms, I walk in, again, I go and I sit down where the clients sit, and I look over here, because a lot of times this gets missed, and you can see that corner over there is pretty filthy. Then I look at the table to make sure there's no anything on the table. Look down on the floor again and see if there's anything, hair or anything like that. Look behind me, because when they're walking in, you can see if there's anything on the walls there. Look behind the door, make sure there's no dust bunnies down there. Make sure that there's nothing on this wall. I'll just walk over to the sink. Sometimes cats will go hang out in there when they're waiting for us to get in there. But the main thing is when you're cleaning this after, so we clean the table after the patient's on there, of course. The main thing though is that people will walk into this room and they'll say, okay, this is clean, but you miss over here because you don't walk over here to see it. So like somebody missed that corner over there, and so I wouldn't want a client coming in and sitting there. So anyway, that's what we do with the small exam room.